and welcome to tonight's episode of Party of Two, where a married couple takes on a world of gods and monsters, and it's really weird to be in this seat. It's oh
light
my
just
gosh.
turned on. Oh wow, the light has come on.
Let there be light.
Let there be light, and there is light.
Kyle, if you're still on, hi, I love you too. Mwah. Good night. Okay.
Just go ahead and just take it completely out.
There we go. Okay, that was really weird. Anyway, so welcome to tonight's episode where we officially begin the story arc that is mine.
Yes. So excited. I'm in the player's seat for one of my first times.
You are.
I've been kind of the forever GM.
You are.
In our family, and
I know.
Oh, I'm nervous.
You're nervous?
Yes.
You're hilarious. So we have just a couple of quick announcements before we get into today's episode. First is... What was mine? Yours.
I'll start with the podcast.
Okay, go ahead.
So this show and the prehistory-like arc are available on podcast. They're available at all the major podcasting platforms, iTunes, Spotify, Google. Are they on Amazon?
Public.
On Amazon?
We are not on Amazon.
Apparently not on Amazon. Not yet.
I will make a note.
Make a note of that. But we will have this Friday. We'll be completely caught up on all of the episodes of the previous arc, so those can all be listened to. And then we won't have this episode of this arc out until the following Friday.
Yeah, so it'll be a week after.
Correct.
And hope we'll get to it on Tuesdays so that it's just a full week. It's not a week and a half. So. Yeah.
And then there'll be a video, the VOD, the video on demand will be available on YouTube. It's available here immediately afterward, but it'll be available on YouTube on Friday for you to like and to share.
For
with
people
everyone.
who do not like Twitch.
Yes.
Which there are people that actually don't like Twitch.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
They're weird.
Cool. Okay, so secondly, we've hit our first two stretch goals of 10 and then 20 followers. Our next stretch goal is 50, at which point we will hit affiliate with Twitch, which will be really, really exciting. And we are giving away at 50 followers a set of gorgeous coasters. Let me
show the coaster. Show the coaster.
Let me show you. Oh my God, it has water all over it. It's doing its job.
That's because it does its job.
So these are the coasters. I make these, hand make them, and they are made out of 100% bamboo and corkboard. On the back, you can see the corkboard to keep it from slipping, and vinyl. They are finished wonderfully. They do a really good job of keeping, normal amounts of liquid off of your table.
Watch out!
If
you're
you
on top
have,
of the wire.
I know, I'm realizing that. If you have a game table, it is the perfect way to show your nerdiness off.
Yes.
So we are giving away 4 of those. So please follow, and anyone who follows will be entered into that drawing, which will be really, really exciting. And we do it live as soon as we hit 50 followers. So that's really fun. Second, we are doing a donation/fundraiser for Utah Parent Center, which is an organization that is pretty dear to my heart. They helped us out a lot when our oldest son, who is autistic, was going into school. They offer all of their services free, counseling, help for parents who need some assistance of navigating the school systems and whatnot. So if you would like to donate to that, link is below. It's a little donate button, and
donate. Just click it.
Click it.
Anything you can give. Anything that you can give at all.
Really, don't go get a coffee in the morning and donate $3.
Well, I mean, it depends. If you buy a Starbucks, that's a lot more than $3.
$7. Anyway.
Depends where you're at and where you buy your coffee.
Okay, did we have...
I think that's all of it. You can't delay any
wanna
longer.
keep delaying,
I know you do.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think there was anything else. So,
all right.
Here we go.
So we will begin into tonight's episode of
Party of Two.
All right. So Where do we begin?
So, picking up where we left off previously, scoot my chair up a little bit. Anna and Anduriana and Az had just escaped Citadel in Farak, a place of torture and death for both of them in different ways. While they were there, they discovered that there was a pretty evil plot being put together by one of the council members named Cuthwaldwin of kidnapping people from the local area and using slaves as well to suck their souls out of their bodies and use them as batteries for war machines for his glorious war against chaos.
Yes.
At the realization of that being the case for these slaves and these kidnapped individuals, Anna realizing that she could no longer stay with the Hell Knights, and as knowing that he would be next as he was a slave, they escaped through a series of forgotten and hidden tunnels that led into a very interesting place looking suspiciously like the Temple of Aor.
Not
Aor.
No, Arodin.
Arodin.
It was my lore, not yours. It's okay.
Sorry. Arodin, who had disappeared a very long time ago.
Yes.
But there they discovered what looked to be gates to other planes of existence, and that they barely
them, fought some undead.
Yeah, fought some undead, barely made it out of there alive, and through a very lucky D20 roll, natural 20 on Az's part, they made it to the safe house.
It wasn't the super lucky. Actually, we would have made it with a lot less.
I know, but like there was no troubles whatsoever. No skinned knees. They made it to the safe house, and upon knocking on the door, it opened with a creak, and a familiar face looked back at Az and at Anduriana of Farmer Magdalene, the head of the Bellflower Network,
yes,
whose sole purpose is to rescue slaves, halfling slaves from Cheliax and get them to safety.
And that's where we pick up.
Az, what do you want to do?
So we just got there. Just walked up, knocked on the door, and she said hi.
Yep, she opened the door, and upon seeing your face and Anna's, she says, "Not a surprise seeing you again, Lady Hell Knight." And Az?
Lady Magdalene, we have made it through. It appears that the last group that I had sent you did perish in the catacombs beneath the citadel.
We assumed, considering they never reached us.
Yes, there were many creatures actually down there. It was a near thing that we arrived.
Yes, I can imagine. Well, this is the last of our people, yes?
Yes, the last. They
Good.
are all out. Our worst fears were realized. I don't think I was able to communicate with you fully. They have discovered a form of soul magic to remove the soul from a living being, capture it, and use it to power their designs. And they had been using both kidnapped individuals from the town as well as others of our group to test this monstrosity.
How many souls do you believe?
I do not know. Honestly, actually, he looks over at Aas and Anduriana and says, You might know more than I do.
You're not wrong there. And Anna looks at Farmer Magdalene and kind of nods and says, this conversation might be better suited inside. Could we get inside? And Farmer says, yes, absolutely. I am sorry. And she steps to the side and ushers in both you, Az and Anna, with the 3 halflings behind you, Tip, Steve, and Brennan. The 3 of them come into the room, and you can tell that all 3 of them are very traumatized by what had happened in the tunnels and are huddling together almost in a desire for protection. And Farmer Magdalene reaches a hand out and puts a hand on Tip's shoulder and says, you are safe. It's all right. If you go, and she points to the left side of a very large room, and there's chairs and some sitting area kind of things, like couches and stuff.
Okay.
And she points to those and she says, please go sit. Please go sit. And all 3 of them kind of look at each other and then look at you, Az.
Go. Okay. This is where we have searched for.
Okay. And upon hearing you say that, all 3 of them, you see a visible relaxation of their bodies. And they all 3 move to the couches and sit. And you can tell that this is a moment that is of disbelief. That they never really thought they would get here.
Magdalene, do we have additional medical equipment? We are all a little wounded from our travels.
Actually, Anna pulls out her little haversack and says, I happen to have 2 health potions that I forgot about. I'm sorry.
It's fine. Hold on to those for now.
Oh,
With my medical kit, I think I can help us out.
Are you sure?
Yes, those are great in a pinch, in a urgent need, but we have time. He looks at Farmer Magdalene and says, we have time now.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes, as we have time.
Okay, good.
And she walks around a wall, and as she kind of goes around this wall to fetch medical supplies, you look around and really take in this room for the first time. It is a nice size sitting room with a fireplace against one wall. There are chairs, and there's a larger table that you can tell is very old, very worn, with a large window that's looking out into the forest on the far side. There is no window, crack, hole, anything besides the front door at the front of the house. Okay. You can tell everything has been sealed off, almost as if they were planning to use it almost as like a barricade if needed, at any point. And it's a very comfortable space, but it doesn't have the feeling of being lived in.
No, yeah.
It has that kind of empty, hollow feeling that you get when there's a place that just has residency every once in a while.
It's a place of passing through.
Yes, exactly. Lady Magdalene Farmer Magdalene is around the corner. Is there anything that you wanted to?
So she's going to get some medical, some bandages and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I will go over and just do a quick medicine check on the halflings just to see how they're doing. They were burnt by some acid. I want to make sure there's nothing long term there. So I'm not doing quite the the treat wounds yet because I'm waiting for the medical supplies from her. But just gonna kind of look over them and see how they are doing, their condition that they're in.
Okay. Okay, cool. Do you want to do that right now?
Yeah, actually, I don't think I have my dice. Let me grab my dice.
You don't have your... How can we start and you not have your dice?
What can I say? Didn't have my dice. Now I do. Now I have them, and I am complete.
All right,
If I can get them out of their container. I gotta love these things because it's like, oh, they're all protected, but you can't get them out.
I know. They don't actually want you to play with them. They just want you to... Oh my gosh, there's so much junk.
Apparently there's stuff from crafting.
Uh-huh.
All right, so medicine check.
Yes. So
Right,
go ahead and give me a medicine check. Is this... Yeah, let's do an individual medicine check.
This would be a 19.
Okay, that definitely hits it.
So what do I see?
So, on them?
Yes, on them.
Just general cuts and bruises. Tip has a longer scrape that looks like it was acquired probably in a stumble and a fall when you were attacked. And so it goes down from his left knee, probably a quarter of the way down his calf. It's not a horrible gash. It's just it's bleeding a little bit. It seems the blood is it's starting to coagulate and whatnot. On Brennan, you see that he has superficial, just little cuts, on his hands from grabbing rocks.
They all have a little. I think they all have a little chemical burn left from the acid spit on those creatures.
Yeah, a little bit of chemical burn, but there's nothing huge and major on Tip or Brennan. However, on Steve, there is a very large gash on his shoulder that looks like it may need some type of stitches or something like that. But because of the adrenaline that all of them have had and felt this whole time, they didn't realize that they were injured.
Okay. I think that I just spend the time kind of looking them over, analyzing what needs to be done medically, as I wait for her to bring those supplies.
Okay. So you hear her footsteps begin to come back around the corner, and Anduriana is just standing there, feeling totally out of sorts. She has no idea really what's going on in terms of like they got to safety and they're at safety now. So she's just kind of standing there, almost shell-shocked at what's happened. As he's looking at them, he suddenly realizes, and he turns to where Farmer Magdalene went and kind of yells out, "We might not have gotten off clean." And at that, you hear a sharp thud, as if she had dropped something. And then you hear her footsteps begin to come back quickly. And as she rounds the corner, you see she has a large bag in her hand, and there's something poking out of the front of it, but her face is very controlled, no reaction, and says, "Okay, how so?"
Titus and the other members of the Hell Knights were aware that the tunnels had been used to smuggle out halflings. One of the previous group had crawled back in trying to escape, and they had found him. And so as we were seeking to escape, they had put extra protections in the science facility due to our investigations into the reason for our escape. We had to it was a bit of a struggle to get down, and they apparently were notified Titus was waiting for us at the bottom.
Did you... And she kind of clears her throat a little, and you can see she's angry. Did you collapse the tunnels?
I do not have that capability.
Right. We will need to have someone go collapse the tunnels. If they know that those tunnels are there, it could spell for devastation for the Bellflower Network.
We won't be using it anymore.
No,
There's
we
no one
won't.
else there.
But Cheliax now has an opening into Revenel.
You make a point.
So she hands the bag over to you, slightly distracted, and kind of just puts it in your hands. And
I take it and immediately start pulling out the different medical equipment to treat the wounds of the halflings there. Stitch Brennan up.
Yeah, stitch from poor Brennan. So, would we need you to have to do another medicine check?
Yeah, so I'm going to do treat wounds.
Yeah.
So it's a DC 15. That is a 21.
Yeah, that passes.
So,
yay.
Yep, they are. So they all get bandaged up. Generally, it's 2d8 on that, but I think we'll just. They have fairly low hit points. So.
Yeah, they're good.
They're good.
They're good at this point. We'll say that they're at max.
Once he finishes, he does then look over to Anna, and in a very matter-of-fact, like practiced business way, walks over to her. What injuries do you have? Where are you injured?
I'm fine.
And he starts to kind of do a bit of an inspecting of if you're bleeding out of anywhere, are there any gashes? Like, he is in full medical responder mode right now.
Yeah. And Anna kind of smacks your hand and says, I am fine. You do not need to help me right now. Thank you.
As you wish. As you wish.
And she kind of settles back a little bit against the door.
Then he will again treat his own wounds then at that point. I only have 19 hit points.
And as Anna sees that you're going to try and attempt this, she's like, stop. And she reaches over and she grabs your hand and she says, let me do what I can do. Right?
What is it that you do?
I don't bloody well know. But I know that I can do this. So I'm going to do it.
Very well.
All right. And then she takes both of your hands and closes her eyes. And
you notice that he's fine with you taking one hand, but when you take the other, there's a hesitancy to having both hands held and in a way restrained that way.
All right. So she, noticing this, she does notice this. She still takes your hand.
Okay.
And she holds both of your hands and she closes her eyes and centers herself and slowly can feel the effects of lay on hands on you as if the life force coming through her body and the warmth going into yours through your hands.
Yep.
And that is for 12.
Since we leveled up, we actually leveled up between the last sessions.
BTW. We all leveled up. Yeah, it's 18.
All right.
Aas and Anna both leveled up. We are now level 5.
So he feels that
so
warmth pass through him. Thank you.
Yes, and the kind of the minor scrapes and wounds that were on your arms. And
This is very similar to a healing spell.
That's exactly what it is.
But you are a Hell Knight Armiger. You're not a signifier.
I never said I was.
So
I don't know where this came from.
Well, that is interesting.
I assume... Okay, to be honest, I assume it has something to do with Pharasma, because when all of this ridiculousness started going down, it felt like she was reaching out to me more. Or I was reaching out to her, or something. I don't know.
You are a champion of Pharasma? And a Hell Knight.
I guess.
This is weird. It's very strange.
Thank you.
Very strange.
Thank you. Coming from the Azimir slave who wanted to hide who he was.
I have very good reasons for that.
So do I.
I did not say you had to tell me. Simply that it is strange.
It is strange.
Pharasma does not find many followers among the Hell Knights.
And she reaches up and she touches the necklace and...
She's not an approved deity.
Well, approved or not, she's the one that takes them all when they die.
This is true.
And this lady, or Farmer Magdalene, says, As, I have something for you.
Yes.
Just a moment. And you see, she turns and the pitter-patter of her feet off into the kind of the recesses of the house that you've yet to explore. And you hear a door open and then close. And then she comes back. And in her hand is a wrapped, what looks like a large stick or wand, baton kind of thing.
Okay.
And it's completely wrapped up. And she says, this was given to us by someone who needed to remain anonymous. And it's specifically for a healer. And so she reaches out and she hands it to you. And she says, I don't know what it does. But it seems to have something to do with healing capabilities. And you might have to do some type of, I don't know if you can do this, but some type of identifying of what it is.
I can ascertain the magical nature of it.
Okay.
I will cast Read Aura, which will tell me the school of magic it comes from. Healing is generally necromancy, so I imagine that's what I would have.
I have to go look it up.
If it has to do with healing, it's most likely necromancy, because that is what all healing magic is. Life force magic, which is necromancy.
It is sort of.
Sort of. Okay.
I didn't write that down. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Well, I can tell you what it is.
Yeah.
I'll just tell you.
Well, how about I will do then, so I'll just go ahead and do an identify on it. Using, I guess it generally gives me the magical tradition. I don't know if it's divine or arcane. So I will just go ahead and try, since it's healing, I will try divine first. And
just tell you what it is.
all I need to do is roll high. I didn't roll that high. However, I do have a plus 10, so it's still a 16.
Okay, yeah, that.
For either one.
And you're trained, right?
Yeah, so it's 10
yeah, so
plus
that,
my roll, so that's 16.
Yeah, so that you're fine. You ascertain that.
So I spend actually generally takes about an hour to sit there and
okay.
identify exactly what magical properties it has.
It's magic healing.
All right. So is it a staff? Is it a wand?
It is a staff. You never unwrapped it.
Well, I imagine I unwrap it as I'm identifying it. That would be the situation.
You never said you unwrapped it.
So I unwrap it and begin to examine it.
Yes, what you see is a beautiful golden staff, and it's almost like a quarter staff. It's not a full length. And at the top is a large cross. It's made out of gold, and in it you can't tell if they are real rubies or if they are just red colored gems. But you can in the top there's 3 of those gems on each point of the cross on the top, and then on the bottom there's a smaller exact replica of what's on the top. On the bottom of the staff as well, just as smaller. And it is a staff of healing.
Ooh.
And it can be used as a kind of like a cantrip.
Yes, I've got it right here.
Yeah. Okay, you found it.
Take a
Good
look
job.
at it.
Oh my, are you kidding me? I had the freaking page written down. It's fine.
Yeah, it allows me to cast each day. So this is just a base level one. So item grants a +1 spell. All my heal spells are +1, and it grants me a cantrip and a first level heal.
Yeah. That it does.
Awesome.
And Lady, as over I'm assuming the hour, they've kind of, done stuff. But Lady Magdalene tells you the benefactor who gave us this is a fairly well-off individual in Ravenel who chose to remain anonymous. And so instead of giving space and personnel, she gave this.
All
And
right.
you were the first person that I thought of that could use it, actually.
Well, thank you very much.
Of course. And then she turns to Anduriana and says, you said you had 2 healing potions? And Anna then pulls them out of her bag and she's like, 2 of them. I have 2 of them.
Would you guys show the camera these healing potions?
Oh.
The way you've got these.
Here, you're closer than I am.
I'm closer. All right. So I'm gonna hold this up right here. So these are the containers, and in them are the exact number of dice that you get with that healing potion.
The lesser healing
So I can
potions.
technically
There's
just like
2.
this, and
No, you have to double
There's
them
a
out.
2 and a 6 right there.
Okay, there's a 2 and a 6 right there. Anyway,
So there's 8.
so Anna kind of lists them up and she says, yes, I do. I have 2 lessers. I accidentally may have stolen them from the Citadel when we left. And Lady Magdalene just kind of, or Farmer Magdalene kind of smiles and she's like I said, you weren't long for the order. And Anna just kind of sighs and she's like, yeah, I know. Everyone keeps telling me that. But now with the 3 halflings kind of
Settled
a little bit more, there's the matter of food. And Farmer Magdalene kind of motions to the table and says, please sit. We do have food prepared already. I expected you soon. And she looks to the door slightly and then looks back at you, says, I was expecting you. So I have food prepared. Please sit and I will go get it. And
Thank you. Yes.
she goes into what you now are realizing is the kitchen.
Yes.
And you can hear her shuffling around a little bit and going and getting different things or walking back and forth across the kitchen as you all kind of settle and sit. And Tip looks at you as he's kind of become like the leader of these 3 halflings, says, as now that we're out, what do we do?
As looks at them, looks at Farmer Magdalene,
She's still in the kitchen. You can't see her.
looks over where she was then. I don't know. I guess we do what we want. I mean, I will serve. I continue to serve in the network wherever they want me, but I don't know. Was this Tip or Brennan or?
This was Tip.
I do not know Tip. But I am sure wherever it is, it will be better than where we came from.
Would it be all right if we stayed with you for a little while? And
Depends
Brennan,
on where I go.
Brennan kind of speaks up as well and says, I think that would be nice. I mean, we've been working with you for quite a while.
That is up to the farmer. She will help us to know where to go next.
All right. And then Anna pipes up quietly from across the table because she's kind of positioned herself away from you guys, but towards the door. Mm-hmm. So she's in a very strategic position.
Gotcha.
To the room. And like she's kind of got her body turned because the windows on her right side. And she says, I think the first order of business would be to get the living hell out of this area. If they know we're here, this is no longer a safe house.
They do not know we are here.
Yeah, but they know that we went through.
They have no idea where it comes out. They've got to go through it themselves, and then.
Do you not think they have dogs? Do you not think they have the ability to find us if they really wanted to? And like you said, we did not get out clean.
The question is, again, it does matter who won. Brutus? And even if the Brutus and the Commando did not win, they will have to deal with the fact that they just went into battle with a high-ranking signifier as well. That is a much larger...
Yes, but Captain Trionis is basically at the same level.
Brutus is higher.
Well, that's true. I forgot about that. He always strikes me as a little odd, so I forget that he's actually very powerful.
He is of the council, so...
True. Well, it's...
And would they tell, if they won, would they tell where we went?
I would have immediately said no 2 days ago. But now, I don't know. That's why we have to get away as fast as possible. We can't just sit around here. There has to be, and then Farmer Magdalene comes in and kind of interrupts and says, "Trust me, you have not reached us without a plan." And in her arms, and as halflings, they are pretty strong in terms of, because of where Farmer Magdalene is, because of her training,
all her
and
stuff she's done. Yep,
she's essentially a rogue. She's really, really strong.
Rogues aren't generally very strong.
Okay, you know what I'm trying to say. Okay, leave me alone. But the point is, she has a very large platter in her hands, and she's putting it down on the table in front of you.
Now, is it pretty standard fare? Pretty, basic?
Yeah, there's like fruits and there's lesser fruits, a lot of root vegetables like potatoes and carrots, and there's some like radishes and things like that. And there's also 2 chickens that have been cooked rotisserie style, so they're full chickens sitting there, and there's some leafy greens and lettuce and stuff, but it's all very like high nutrition value foods, because they know, first off, they have to grow everything themselves. Yeah. And secondly, they know that anyone that's coming to them is most likely starving, and so they have to have really high nutrient.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
She also has 6 mugs and like cups, and puts them out as well, and begins to fill them with a decanter of wine. It's very watered down wine. It's not like the best thing in the world, but
as once she lays it all out, as you watch, as he takes his hand and passes it over the food and the water, and just says, "May this nourish," and cast Enhance Victuals, which will turn water into wine and regular fare into gourmet meal.
Oh my goodness.
So everything on here now tastes like the freshest, best quality ingredients you could get at market.
Nice. Okay. Does it change their appearance at all?
No, but they just taste amazing now.
Okay.
So yeah, the spell literally says, you transform the target into delicious fare, changing water into wine or another fine beverage, or enhancing food's taste and ingredients to make it a gourmet treat.
I like it. It doesn't give any bonuses.
Doesn't give any bonuses. It just tastes really good now.
Cool.
And it would counteract poisons.
Nobody's poisoned at the moment, so I think
so
we're good.
It doesn't. It just makes everything taste great.
Anna kind of has never seen this before. Neither has Farmer Magdalene. And so they both kind of are like, "What is that, and Farmer Magdalene looks at you like expectantly, like, explain.
You watch as he takes. Are there forks and knives? Are there?
Yeah.
Okay. You watch as he
utensils.
takes the utensils, pulls out a little handkerchief, puts it down, and begins to very, properly cut his food and serve. Like he has eaten at many fine tables. Mm-hmm. Being, they brought in as the manservant, and just begins kind of that type of ritual of high dining etiquette at this table.
Nice. So and
he kind of ignores the looks that he's getting.
Oh, great. The 3 halflings are kind of like, okay, we're going to do this too now. It looks good. Everything looks good. And they begin to grab what they want. And Anna, still kind of hesitant just of life right now, is gingerly kind of taking different things, little things here and there.
As she eats it, it is the best food she's ever had. Like, all right then. It's like you're used to, okay, Mama, whatever her name was,
Mama
Moss made decent food, but this is like, the difference. Like you've gone to really nice restaurants somewhere else, and you get that rich ingredient taste. It's
so great. The flavors. Do you want me to describe what it is?
You don't have to.
In their mouth, okay. Okay, cool. So it's the best food she's ever had in her entire life. Explodes in her mouth.
Exactly.
It's like ratatouille with the flavors.
Exactly, whirling around her head.
So they all have a wonderful meal that is silent. And there's no real talking. Everybody's very focused on eating. They're exhausted. By the time they reached the safe house, it was later in the afternoon, or later, excuse me, it was through the night, and it was starting to be early morning, and they are beyond exhausted. So Farmer Magdalene says, "Are you all finished?" As everything seems to wind down with the food. And Anna's like, yes. She kind of puts it down and says, "Yes, I believe this is the best food I have ever eaten, and I don't know if that's because of him," and she points across at you, "or because I am so blasted tired and hungry."
Probably both. I do need to treat myself a little bit more, and check the bandages and such on the halflings.
Okay. So Farmer Magdalene starts to kind of pick up everything, and she says, "As soon as you're done with that, we do have rooms. Unfortunately, there's only one full-sized bed. Normally, we only have one larger person with the groups of halflings. So
I will take the floor."
And Anna's like, Are you sure? Because I kind of like I can like sleep anywhere. It's part of being a Hell Knight.
I have been a slave. Do you think that I have not?
Okay, all right. So look, you make
floor?
a good point. You make a good point. I'm just offering, if you would like to sleep on the bed, I am more than comfortable on the floor.
Let the halflings, let the 3 of them get in the bed.
And Farmer Magdalene's like, she's like, no, as you don't understand. We have accommodations for halflings. We just don't have accommodations for you all. Larger people.
Oh.
So if you flip a coin for it, and she turns, she's kind of like, I don't care anymore. And she ushers the 3 halflings into the other room and down a little hallway that you can see. There's one room off to the side that she goes to the very end, and she turns back to you and Aas and says, "Whenever you've figured out your sleeping arrangements, you can come bandage the wounds of those or whatever you need to do." And then she continues in and starts getting them settled. So it's now just you and Anna sitting at the very large table.
So he is going to turn to Anna and say, I prefer the floor. And I'm going to roll a deception check. 24.
I was going to say diplomacy.
No, that was a lie.
But, okay. 24. Okay.
That was a lie.
All right. So she believes you. And she's like, okay, it's very weird. But all right, we can do that. And
so he goes over and you watch as he takes off his, little, just kind of a covering, his little jacket that he has, and just kind of lays it out on the floor, and then sits down on it and begins to roll up sleeves and work on his wounds again.
Anna, feeling slightly useless, says, do you want any help? I mean, if you don't, it's fine. I can just go lay down. I am tired, but...
Go rest. Have you ever had a job that you've done so often that it is slightly relaxing to do it?
Yes. Yes, I have.
This for me is familiar.
All right, well, don't stay up too early. And she looks out the window and kind of chuckles. I'm going to go lay down. And she turns around and goes to the door that she assumes is the other bedroom.
And she does, as she begins to walk away, she hears in her head, sleep well.
Oh, will you not do that? Use your lips, dude. To speak. Not in a... Good night. Morning. Frick. And she just turns around and walks into her room.
He just kind of watches her as she walks away, just like... That Hell Knight is a weird one. Very weird one. Very weird. Well, I'm going to do another medicine check on myself.
Okay.
Ooh,
I was about to say, did you just fail?
that's a crit. That's a critical success.
Oh, success. Okay. Well, that's exciting.
So that does then 4 D8. I'm fully healed. Because I just rolled really well, too. So I am...
like bells and whistles.
Yeah, because even after your lay on hands, I was still almost halfway
pretty
down.
low.
I was still almost halfway down. I was only at 19 out of 53 hit points when we left. I was like,
Not good. She was at 44. She was fine. Anna was fine. So, Farmer Magdalene comes back out and just kind of motions to you as like she waits until you're done with your healing stuff and says, the 3 halflings are exhausted.
yes.
Basically already asleep. Let's check on them in the morning. I think they'll be fine. You did a very good job with their wounds. And she continues moving forward and she starts gathering the things that have been left on the table to go take care of them in the kitchen. And she kind of looks at you and says, you really should sleep. This was a taxing thing that you did. I
will sleep. Just
right.
Very what would be the word? Exciting day. I'm a bit of adrenaline rushing through the system.
I imagine. You will need to tell me everything.
Yes.
But first, sleep. We have a little bit of time. We will be safe here for a few days.
Of course. We have a few days, you think?
Yes.
She is right. Titus knows that I am gone.
That man.
He will not easily handle the slight.
No.
Personally, she had Captain Trionis and Brutus of the Council come to her defense and attack Titus. It is the only reason we escaped.
You mean the Lady Hell Knight?
Yes, the captain of the Armigers and could have been Master of Blades if she wanted, and a member of the Council in charge of finance and economics.
That is very interesting information.
Yes.
Is it...
I imagine that against Titus, the 2 of them most likely won.
If it was 2 against 1,
And
You're probably right.
They are not to be trifled with either.
No, we've known about those two for a very long time, considering they were not necessarily openly sympathizing against slavery, but they seem to have less harsh thoughts upon it.
Yes,
So
I would say that's exactly right.
that was someone. That was a.
But also, I question if they would have killed him. Even if they had defeated him, I doubt they would have killed him outright.
Probably not. If anything, if they did defeat him, it would be an internal matter now. There's no way for us to know.
Correct.
Now that you are gone, we lost our rabbit in the hole, as it were.
Yes. That was unfortunate.
No, As. It wasn't.
We did a lot.
We did, and you saved all of the halflings you could. There will be more that replace them, we know that.
Yes.
But we got you in there. And I have a feeling we'll get others. It's all right.
Cal taught me well.
Yes, he was a good man. All right, well, you rest.
Yes.
And I will speak with you.
As a medical professional, I will agree with your assessment. Rest would be best.
And I will be in and out of the house, but no, it is not unguarded. So you can rest easily.
One thing that will just help me feel better. I will be right back.
Oh,
And he
okay.
walks out of the the house there, and just around the front of the that's just 20-foot area in the front, he is going to walk in a 20-foot perimeter, kind of out and around where the front door would be. He pulls out a little silver bell and begins to jingle it as he walks, muttering under his breath, and casts alarm in a 20-foot area around.
I wondered if you were going to do that.
Yep. So it lasts for 8 hours, and will alert me of any creature that enters without the permission into the area. The password for this will be the theater.
The theater. All right. All right, well, you bed down. I assume you take your cloak and
Lay it down.
and kind of curl up in it a little bit and sleep as well as you can. And
As has slept on the ground many times, so it's, while not comfortable, it's nothing new to him.
Yeah. Farmer Magdalene, true to her word, is in and out all day, but she is very quiet, very subtle about her entrances. You can see her.
You'd probably be quietest.
Yes, she is extremely quiet. She basically has the skills of a thief.
I will, before I go to bed, I will inform her that I have set that and what the password is, in case she needs to go out for anything.
Out the front.
Yeah.
There are other ways to get in and out of the house. And you rest the full 8 hours, kind of replenish, and the first person up, surprisingly, is Anna. And she comes into the consciousness laying on the bed, just kind of startled awake almost, and looks around at this very simple room. It's like basically a closet with a bed in it, and pauses for a moment, thinking of where she was 24 hours before and who she was with, and that's all gone now. She pulls out her statue of Bruce, and needing some comfort and a little bit of love, she puts the statue down and just says, "Bruce, come here." Oh, nope, sorry. "Bruce, come here." and he immediately, the statue transforms and in a shimmering mist goes from a beautifully carved and ornate cane corso into a beautiful black onyx cane corso without doxed ears that flap down and this big derpy jaws.
The derpy jaws.
The derpy jaws. And Bruce says, hello. What are we doing here? And Anna is just like so
there's now a
overjoyed.
dog. There's now a dog there, a big
There's
dog.
now a big cane corso dog in her room.
Am I hearing anything as this dog starts moving
No,
around?
well, it's magic. So it goes from this little statue into this dog, but it's not like there's a big thump, 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 thump. It's not like he falls on the ground.
No, but I mean, I imagine as he moves around, you're in a small space.
Roll a perception check.
Tag, whack, tail whacking the wall.
Roll a perception.
We have dogs. We know how it says tail
I
whacking the wall and
know.
all that. Let's see. That is an 11. 23.
Oh, jeez. Okay, not only do you hear the dog, you hear the tail end of her saying, or I guess you hear her saying, Bruce, come here. And then you hear the telltale sounds of a large dog. And as she comes out of the door, and Bruce speaks to her telepathically.
Correct.
But she uses speech to speak back to him. And Bruce is very confused right now as to where they are. And he's asking her many questions. Saying, so, where are we? I said, the last time I saw you, we were in a big field, and you were throwing like the top of like a cask thing, right? Yeah, right. And I was going, and he's just he's chatterboxing it right now, and Anna is just petting the top of his head because he's so tall. With her hand just down, she's being able to pet his head as they walk. And as they come around the corner into the living room,
where Aas is laying.
She sees that he is awake.
So he's kind of sat up and kind of got that, where he's sitting on one of his legs with one knee up. Mm-hmm. Why do you have a dog?
Anna gives a big smile and she says, "This is Bruce. This is my dog. He is a wondrous. Wait. No, he's not a normal dog. He's like magic, right? Bruce, you're magic, right?" And you hear nothing in response. And she pauses for a moment, and then she says, "See, exactly. He's totally fine. He's not like a normal dog. He's gonna be great." And then she says, "Go give Aas kisses. Go give Aas kisses."
Seeing him walk over, I'm gonna read aura on him.
Okay.
And I will feel I'll recognize the type of magic.
Okay.
That it is. I believe that would be a conjuration.
Yes.
Because you're conjuring him from the astral planes or something like that.
Let me see. Hold on. No, yeah. I mean,
it might not tell it there, but you're literally, does it say transmutation?
No, but it's transforming.
No, but technically what it's doing is it's changing that and then bringing that probably from some other plane or something like that. So I imagine it would be a conjuration type thing.
It doesn't say
at
all.
I'll just assume. So I'll read him like, I have heard of items like this.
And this one's mine. I got him from the Citadel. His name is Bruce, and he'll be with us for the rest of the day. As you...
Do we have to feed him?
No, but he likes sausage. We learned that the last time he came out. Maybe we'll find something else. And she starts to head towards the door as if to go outside. And she opens it up and...
Has it been longer than 8 hours that we've been asleep?
Yes.
Okay. So
at this
alarm
point,
is worn off.
It's probably like 8.5, 9 hours. It's starting to become evening at this point. You guys got there really, really early in the morning. And so it's probably, I want to say it's like 6 or 7 in the evening at this point.
Okay, well then I at that point get to restore all my spells.
Okay. Yes, restore everything that you need to from
and
having a long rest.
As you do that, I spend a little bit of time and sit myself down and open up my spell book in front of me and begin to go through my notes and different spells and incantations I've learned, and select my cleric spells for the day.
Okay, all right, cool. Anna goes out and picks up a rock and throws the rock for Bruce. And Bruce just turns and looks at her and says, "What? What do you want me to do?" And she says, "Go get the go get the rock." And Bruce is like, "I don't know what you want. I'm not going to go get the rock and bring it back here. That's stupid." And Anna just kind of like, "You're not going to play fetch? Really? You're not going to play fetch with me?" And you can hear her side of the conversation.
Yeah.
Through the door, and Bruce sits down and is like, "No, I'm not going to play fetch. That's stupid." And so you hear a pause, and then you hear Anna say, "Do you want to go on patrol?" And while you don't hear this, there is an enthusiastic yes from Bruce. So, and he gets up on all fours, and you hear his excited pant, and she's kind of like, okay, we'll go on patrol just a second. And she comes into the house, and God, doing the accents is really hard when I'm flipping between them.
Okay.
She comes back into the house and says, "Do you know where Farmer Magdalene is? Have you seen her yet this morning? Well, I guess evening."
I just woke up when you summoned your four-legged friend.
It's called a dog. You can say the word dog. It's fine.
Yes, I am aware of that. What was his name again?
Bruce.
Bruce.
Yes. He's an absolute sweetie. Aren't you a little sweetie? And she kind of gives him scritches on the face. And so
you can talk to him.
Yes, I can talk to him. And he can talk to me.
I have a question for him, if you wouldn't mind.
All right.
Okay. I've always wondered, do dogs actually like it when people do that to their faces?
I have no idea.
It actually sounds quite uncomfortable.
She looks down at Bruce and says, "Bruce, do you like to have scritches in the face? Like that?" And he sits down on his hind legs and his tail wags and he says, "Oh yes, it's very nice. We don't normally get down to those small little places very well." And she turns to you and says, "Actually, yes, he enjoys it very much. Thank you. We are going to go on patrol. I just want to do a sweep just to see if we truly did get out safely. We did not get out cleanly, but getting out safely. So I'm going to go look for Farmer Magdalene really quick and see if I can find her. And then I'm just going to go on a walkabout really quickly with Bruce. And he will bark if there is anything to tell." "Yes?" And she looks at Bruce and Bruce is like, "Yep, I'll do it. I'll do it for you, miss."
Very well. You are free to walk about.
I'm just letting you know. So then she leaves out through kind of the hall and is sitting there she goes to find Farmer Magdalene, and the three halflings, hearing the commotion from the living room and the dog and whatnot, come out the hall, and they're still kind of in that shell-shocked state a little bit. They're not really sure what to do. I mean, the house...
As he sees them, gets up, does get up and go over and walk and talk to them and kind of help them to feel more normal, get them started talking.
Okay. Roll a perception check for me.
That will be, I believe, a 24.
Jeez. Okay.
I have a plus 12 perception.
Yeah, I can see that. You notice that everything is put away from Farmer Magdalene from breakfast, and, well, yeah, from breakfast. There's no remnants of any other food having been prepared yet. And it doesn't seem that Farmer Magdalene's been here for a little bit.
Huh.
And
that is odd.
Tip looks at you and says, "What's odd? What's odd? As what's odd?"
Oh, just wondering where dinner is.
Dinner? Oh, yeah. Oh. And you hear suddenly a rumbler.
He'll pull out. I've got some rations in my bag, and I hand him. I'm like, here, take these while we figure out dinner. I'll be right back. Just sit at the table.
Of course.
Have a talk.
Of course, absolutely.
And he actually pulls out. I don't think I actually have this in my inventory, but I say pulls out. Oh wait, I've got I pull out a thing of chalk and something to write on, and I say, here, go ahead and draw something down.
Draw
Entertain
what?
yourself.
Oh. Like, do you want us to write out an assignment? Or
Oh, come on.
I'm confused.
You know the types of games we play in the back rooms.
All right, that's true. It's
Go
been
play
a
some
really
X's and
long-
O's.
It's been a really long
Play
day.
some X's or O's.
Okay, yeah, we'll go entertain ourselves. Thank you.
And he walks out the front door. Then also, kind of looks around for where Anna went on her patrol.
Give me another perception check really quick.
22.
Jeez. Frick, what is your modifier?
12.
Jeez. All right.
And I haven't rolled below a 10. I think this whole
I'm
time.
noticing. You see that she... Well, you didn't... I know. You haven't really used those dice all that much. You haven't known the beauty of the metal dice.
Well, I've always
I
had like
bought you.
10 dice to manage.
I know, right? So you see from... She hasn't... It's a really low DC, too, because she hasn't gotten all that far.
No, yeah, I imagine she hasn't.
She's actually just at the far side of the clearing with Bruce, and you can tell she's not being super stealthy about it. She's just basically going on a walk with her dog.
So I am going to, as you watch, well, you wouldn't watch, but I suddenly take a deep breath, and I pull inside myself and find that ancestor that I had channeled the other day who was a tracker, and connect with that entity in my past, that the spirit of that ancestor, and so I cast my focus spell of ancestral memories to become trained in survival, and then I am going to try and do some tracking to see if I can figure out where in the heck she might have gone. So with that, I do have a plus 10 in survival. I rolled a 2!
Do you remember how you were just talking about how
I shouldn't have kissed it. I didn't like that.
No.
All right, so only a 12 on my survival then.
Dang. Okay.
Trying to just see kind of if there's any prints or any sign of Farmer Magdalene, which direction she would have went, and apparently I didn't get it.
You can see there are definitely footsteps.
Which, I need a hero point.
Oh, I forgot to.
I need a hero point.
Over here.
I need a hero point.
Hero point. For those of you who have not played Pathfinder before, you get a hero point at the beginning of every session, supposedly the beginning of every session, and it gives you 1 reroll of any d20 roll.
So I'm not going to use it for that, but dang it.
Dang.
That's my first roll below a 10 this whole night.
I know. So you can see the foliage in the front of the house. It is a pretty beaten path through that front section, but you can see as it begins to wrap around the sides of the house, there's less footprints, but you can't really distinguish hers specifically, but you can tell there has been recent activity around the outside of the house. How recent, though, is kind of difficult to tell.
I'm going to I'm going to say under my breath here. Let me see. Oh no, I think I have to be in the line of sight for message.
Yes, you do.
Dang it. Yeah, I can be up to 120 feet, and I was hoping that I could just, if she was within 120 feet, I would...
You don't have sending yet, though, right?
No, that's not actually even the spell. Remember? It's
oh, yeah.
They got the dream one.
Yeah, okay.
All right, so, well, seeing that, he's going to walk towards Anna.
Okay.
And Bruce.
Mm-hmm. And she's... As you get, are you trying to be stealthy at all?
No, I'm not. I'm just walking up to her.
Okay. She hears you and kind of turns and like slows down her gait a little bit to let you catch up as she's walking.
Do you see any signs of anything?
Anything like what?
Well, I noticed that Farmer Magdalene left and there's no food I'm seeing at the moment. It seems that she expected to be back before we woke up. Would be my assumption.
So you saying she's missing? Or that she's just not here at the moment?
Not here, and I don't know why, and that makes me nervous. I don't like plans that don't add up.
Okay. Anna looks down at Bruce and says, darling, I need you to do something for me, all right? The smell in the house. And Bruce sits and his ears perk up. Mm-hmm. And he says, yeah, the smell in the house. She says, I need you to go find that smell. Not mine, you know mine. And you know Aas's smells. You know the 3 halflings. I need you to find the other smell that was in the house. You
never had him sniff the 3 halflings.
Well, they were there, weren't they?
They were in the other rooms asleep.
Oh, that's right. Nope, you're right. All right. So, you know what we smell like. I need you to track. And she looks at Az and says, do you have anything that Farmer Magdalene touched recently?
He pulls out the cloth that the staff had been wrapped in.
Okay, and so she takes that and she puts it in front of Bruce's nose and says, this smell, this woman, I need you to go find her. All right? And he kind of smells it and is getting really deep in the senses and says, all right, miss, just a minute, please. And he puts his nose down and starts sniffing around. So he's going to roll a survival check really quick. All right, so that is an 18.
And I have to agree with our comment that at least my 2 was not on a combat roll. That's why I'm saving that hero point. I'd rather say that if there's a combat roll.
I know, right? So
what'd you roll?
Is an 18.
Okay.
So he is going to go, he begins to sniff around, and it takes him a little bit, and you and Anna are behind him and following him as he sniffs about. And as he gets closer to the tree line on the far side, okay, now that you've completely crossed the meadow, once he gets to the tree line on the far side, he stops, he lifts one leg, and he points. And in Anna's head...
So lifting Legos where he's going to pee. I move out of the way.
Nope, not going to pee. He's going into full pointer. Even though he's a Cane Corso. He's going to full pointer.
Do we see anything ahead?
Make a perception check.
Ooh, 19. That is a 31.
Holy crap.
I see everything.
There's a hummingbird.
I watch as the hummingbird. I can see its wings as they flap. You know.
Okay, you didn't stop time.
The Matrix has opened up to me.
No, it has not.
Everything is ones and zeros around.
As soon as you see that with the dog going into full pointer, you look into the forest and you can see there is a very distinct trail of someone or something that has just bolted through the forest.
So there lots of broken branches.
Broken branches, mushed up like shrubs that are kind of like bent backwards, and large like scrapes in the ground that are reminiscent of either someone falling or something very large digging into the ground as it's moving forward. And that is actually where we're going to take our break right now.
Ah!
So we're going to take a really quick break, guys, about 5 to 10 minutes. I need to pee. But we will be right back. And yes, Synth Knight. No, it's true. It is combat rolls freaking suck if you roll really, really low. But that's what the hero points are for. So that's really exciting for you. And eventually I'll have villain points, but we'll get to that point. We'll get to that.
We will take a break for now, and we will be back in
approximately 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
See you guys in a minute. And we're back.
Yeah. All right.
So when we left off,
I just saw the Matrix, and
saw the Matrix, and suddenly we're playing Call of Cthulhu. No, I'm just kidding.
But yeah, so Bruce pointed at us. I see everything.
So you can see this broken trail of either someone chasing or a large creature running. The track markings aren't super conclusive, but there's a distinct trail straight through.
With that view,
fresh.
Can I tell that it's like, did something big go through here? Do I need a survival check for that, or?
Yeah, let's do a survival check.
I only have a +3 on it. 16.
Yeah. You can see it was either something very large or it was multiple somethings moving through either side by side or in a group.
I will, to be cautious, I'm going to use, I put my hand onto my chest, and I say to myself, we're stuck, and cast Mage Armor on myself to give me a +1 to AC, just because I'm not really sure what we're walking into.
And Anna, seeing you do this, looks at you and says, wait, what's going on? And she begins to pull her sword out, which she never goes to sleep without. It's right next to her always.
And I've got that new staff I was just given at the top. But yeah, I'm just to be cautious. I'm going to go ahead and put that Mage Armor. And you see this light blue glow all over him. That's just kind of constant now, just shimmering blueness.
Almost like a force field that just comes up and over. Does it... excuse me. It just covers your...
Exact. It is literally like part of my clothing.
Okay.
Shimmers like that.
All right, cool. Anna, seeing this, she pulls her sword out. And actually, no, she doesn't pull her sword out. she pulls out, she reaches up and grabs a dagger that is on her necklace. And she pulls that out. And she has it. And you see as she pulls this dagger, it looks like it's about to break the necklace. But then it comes away clean. And in its place, almost as if nothing had happened, is another one.
As
she grabs it and has it. And she says,
"You
I know it's weird,
curious.
right? I know. It's a whole thing.
Can I look at that later?"
Yes, later. Absolutely.
Which you picked up something in the crypt and we never looked at it, did we? Later.
Oh yeah,
later.
Yeah, yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm intrigued.
And Anna looks back that direction and says, "Are we going down there?"
Yes.
Hell, wait first, all right? And she looks down at Bruce and says, "Bruce, go." And Bruce, very quickly and very, he's going to try and be kind of stealthy. And I'm just going to use my... All right, so he makes a little bit of noise. But he does manage to kind of quietly...
Wait. So this would be a dog, right?
Yeah.
Give me a second. Let's get the...
Yeah, I know, because the stuff that I had for him is not... It doesn't have his
All right, we'll just do it as a basic guard dog. And let me just see if they've got... I think they have a stealth of 5.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, he is not stealthy at all.
Okay.
As you would expect with a very large dog, he's definitely not made for stealth. But he does pad through, and you can see that he is kind of sniffing along, and he turns around and says to Anna across, he's about probably 35 feet or so away from her at this point, and he turns and he says to her, "The lady came this way, so come this way." And Anna turns and looks at you and says, "Bruce said he went that way, or she went that way, so we should probably go that direction."
I am not generally built for combat. Would you take the lead?
Yes, I'll lead, absolutely. And so, marching order is Bruce,
yes.
Anna, and then you.
And then Az.
So, as you begin to move through, are you wanting to move stealthily?
I'm going to move stealthily, yes.
Okay.
I'm going to try and move stealthily.
So we're going to do a group stealth check. 25 for Bruce. And 19 for Anna.
Oh, I just
You
whacked the camera.
just hit the camera.
I just whacked the camera.
My camera?
I just whacked the camera. Whacking cameras.
Can we just... Really? We spent like so much time getting that up.
I know.
Fine.
Hero point. Natural 1.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
I'm not rolling that one on that.
That is not going to work out for me.
Jeez, I have not... Now, since I did that, I have not rolled once.
You teased yourself.
I got a 3. I have a 9, so at least that's a 12.
Okay, so, I mean, Bruce got a natural 20. So 25, 19, and then yours is 12. So we'll split the difference between the average. And you guys are stealthy, but as a group, you are making a little bit of noise. Some snapping of twigs.
As is used to being stealthy in a metropolitan setting, in a building, sneaking around corners.
Yeah,
He's not
so
used to the woods.
Yeah, not so much in the forest. But as a group, you are able to kind of move down this path that has been made stealthily. You go like 30 feet and then 45 and then 60, and you're now deep into the woods, and the canopy overhead is so thick that it begins to get darker and darker and darker and begins to feel oppressive almost. And the brambles and the trees the shrubs are almost like catching your clothes and trying to prevent you from going forward.
So it's gotten really thick.
The underbrush has gotten really, really thick, and you're still following this line of broken branches and messed shrubs and whatnot, but it's getting very difficult to follow. As you come around a bend, roll me a perception check.
All right. Ha! 30.
Okay. Okay, back on track. See, you just needed to give your dice
See?
a little love.
Yeah, see?
Little love.
Hummingbird wings.
The Matrix
Makes
is
us
back.
open.
So, jeez. You suddenly stop. Because before you, there is nothing.
What do you mean, nothing?
It is as if there was no animal, person, anything that came this direction.
Okay.
With a high enough perception roll like that, you can see that there is not a single thing out of place.
I'm going to detect magic.
Okay.
So, detect...
Roll D20 for me.
Detect... Actually, I don't have to roll anything.
Oh, that's true. You don't.
It's a 30-foot emanation, though. It only goes for 30 feet.
Okay. You can tell that there is something here, but it's at a level that is almost chaotic for you. It's very difficult for you to
It's not localized.
grasp what's happening. But you could tell there's something happening here.
Can I tell what type of magic?
Yes.
Because generally I can tell what school of magic. So there's illusion, transmutation, abjuration, conjuration.
We have there's like I said, it's a little chaotic. There's a combination of
Magics.
illusion and transmutation happening here.
Okay.
So you can tell someone has very obviously, to you, because you rolled a freaking 30, made it look like there's nothing here.
Okay. So, as then, with that in mind, is going to look to Anna, and he's going to say, "Is that sword sharp?"
Yes, it's sharp.
Would you mind clearing a path?
In front of us?
Yes.
There's nothing there. I mean, there's obviously something there, but there's...
There is so obviously nothing there that there must be something there.
But... All right. So she grabs...
It's either that or I cast a fireball, which will notify everything.
Let's
in the
not do
area.
that.
Yes.
Right? And let's not
Burn
the
down
entire
I
forest
thought
down.
that was wise as well, so... Sword.
All right. And she looks down at Bruce and says, "Bruce, baby, I need you to step back, all right?" And he very politely turns around and goes back behind you and sits down. And she pulls out her sword and she kind of points it at the obvious perfection that is in front of you and says, "Are you sure? Like, it's just a tree. Like, there's trees and there's shrubs and they..." Okay.
Try and clear through the shrub.
All right.
The shrubbery.
I wondered how long we were going to go without that one.
I would not recommend the tree. It will take a lot more work.
Yes, thank you. So she lifts the sword, her two-handed greatsword, and she picks it up. And she swings it down, and as it comes down, it slices as if there's nothing there. And she pulls it back and she says for just a moment. And she looks at you. Did you know that was going to happen?
No. But he walks forward. He's going to pass you, and he's just going to start walking.
All right.
Because it was as if she swung her sword through an illusion.
Through an illusion, yes.
Okay, yeah.
Through nothing. Like it was like there was nothing there, even though you could see that there were things there.
So yeah, Az is going to attempt to kind of walk through the illusion.
Okay, make me a Constitution saving throw. Or not Constitution, sorry, Fortitude saving throw.
Okay. Wow, didn't expect that. Fortitude. 12. I rolled a 2. Hell.
Okay. As you walk through this combination of illusion and transmutive magic, it almost feels like you're moving through sludge and through like it's thick, like the air is thick, and as you feel like you are like seconds away from having to either turn back or you are going to almost like suffocate to death because your breath is almost being taken out of your lungs as you breathe it out. You hear a very slight, and you come out the other side. And you take a very deep breath, but you are sickened. One.
Dang.
In this moment.
Damn it.
And
So
Anna, and you have completely disappeared from view from Anna. Like she cannot see you at all anymore.
Anna.
As I can't see you. And where are you? Where did you go?
Just walk through, but it's not pleasant.
Are you? What do you mean not pleasant?
Just walk forward, and you'll know pretty quick.
All right. Are you okay? Right. And she takes a deep breath. And she's going to roll a fortitude save. All right.
What'd you get?
She rolls a 30.
Oh, wow.
So
critically succeeds. She's good to go.
So she moves through, and instead of it feeling like deep sludge for her, it's more like moving through sand, just like kind of that. It's slightly resistant, but kind of gentle and like, oh, this is nice. And she comes, she hears the same, and you hear it now as well on the other side. This, and she goes straight through, and she sees you. What are you doing at the moment? I
am taking my turn to retch.
Oh, gee.
Which is how you get better from sicken. I know. And I am at the moment she walks through, I'm standing there.
And she sees that.
Just vomiting. Okay.
Did you?
What?
Well, hold on. What are you rolling for?
The fortitude.
Okay.
To get better from the second condition. Okay. I did roll a 10, so that's a 19.
Okay. Yeah. That you are successful at vomiting everything that could possibly be in your stomach from the breakfast that morning, which is very little, which means it's lots of bile and nastiness coming out. And Anna's standing there like, oh my gosh.
Wow.
Are you all right?
Oh, that didn't affect you at all.
It felt like kind of like I was walking through thick air, almost like it was. Anyway, that was from walking through whatever that was, and you turn and you look back, and you see the same thing you saw moving forward in through it. It's like a double illusion on both sides.
That is a definite illusion, but with a nasty effect.
What?
What laid that spell?
I don't know.
Oh.
Give me another perception check.
15.
All right.
It's still not horrible.
I'm going
I just got that plus 12 helps a lot.
Anna is going to assist a little bit.
Please help me in looking. You have to beat.
That's a 20.
Okay, so you do help me by 2. Mm-hmm. So it becomes 17.
Yeah. Yeah, that's 20. Okay, 17 is enough. So you, as you're looking around, you see that this other side of the forest looks very similar, but there's something slightly off about it.
Az is going to look to Anna. Anna?
What?
This is definitely very strange.
No shit.
Are you... That power you seem to have to heal.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have that at the ready? Just in case.
Yes, I can... Yeah, do you need it?
No, but might be good.
Oh,
we don't know
yes.
what's coming. So
No,
just
I
in
agree.
case. So
I can
give me
agree.
can I take a moment though?
Yes, no, let's take a minute. And both of you hear up and you see Bruce come waddling through. Totally fine. No problems whatsoever. He's just kind of...
He's an astral, summon, but he's not real.
He is not a real creature. So conditions don't actually affect him. So he just comes through and he sits down next to Anna, and he kind of is looking at the two of you like, so, what happened? No, the one over there with the white hair did something really weird, and then you, Anna, you were like there, and then you were gone, and you didn't do anything. And he continues to kind of jabber to Anna to the point that she says, Bruce, sweetie, not right now. Okay?
And Az is just going to sit, and I'm going to actually take the 10 minutes to regain my focus point.
Okay. All right. And as you do that, Anna is just going to do a real quick search around. But in the back of your mind, you are very aware of the fact that the halflings are back at the house.
Mm-hmm.
And they have no protection currently.
It's true. That is true.
So just keep that in mind as we move forward with this. So Anna's going to do a little walkabout. As you do that,
yeah.
I'm just going to roll perception for her. 17 plus the 9, 28. So as she's looking through the forest, she's being able to see just this very weird fog. Almost. It's like this wispy thing that kind of shows up, and then it's like suddenly she blinks and then it's gone.
Can I do maybe an Arcana check to see if I might understand what magic is causing this?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. There's my 23.
This is a brand of magic that you've never encountered.
Okay.
So it like the shield. It's chaos. It's transmutive, and it's illusory, and it just feels strange as you reach out to try and feel the magic itself.
I look up as we get to the end of the 10 minutes or so of Marissa. I look up at Anna. Do you see anything? Any tracks? Any?
I don't see tracks, but it's
Can
almost
Bruce...
like what? No, it's almost like this. There's like there's something there, and then it's gone, and then something there, and then it's gone. And if I blink, I can see it, and I blink again, and it's gone.
See what?
It's like figures in a mist. If that makes any sense. I don't...
I'm again detect magic.
Okay.
I imagine detect magic just tells me if I feel magic in the area.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And You definitely do.
Okay.
It's a very strong sense of magic.
I'm gonna get once again try and read aura.
Okay.
To try and again gather something of what this magic is. So read aura. You focus on the target's object, opening your mind to perceive magical auras. When casting is complete, you know whether the item is magical or the area, the thing in front of me. And I learned the School of Magic. If the object is illusory, you detect this only if the effect's level is lower than the level of my read aura.
Which is 5.
It's a 3rd level.
Oh, it's 3rd level. Okay.
So I'm casting it's technically, it's a cantrip, so it goes to a 3rd level. And so if it's higher than a 3rd level spell, I wouldn't even be able to get any information on it.
Yeah. And it's...
Nothing.
You're not getting anything. Just, it's magic. It's strong effing magic that you have never experienced before.
Magdalene is not a fool.
Do you think... I mean, Bruce said she went this way.
Yes, but if she went this way, she had to have reason.
It's true.
Do you...
I don't... Should we go back, though?
Should we call for her?
Well, can you do that message thing that you do when you don't use your lips and you're just like
I
right in
believe
someone's...
I need to be able to see her.
Oh, damn. I guess I'm worried with these.
Yeah, I want to double check something on that spell because I'm not actually as I'm reading it here. It says it has to be within 120 feet, but I actually am not finding the.
I thought you had to have line of sight.
Let me double check. I want to double check my spell.
Which level are you doing it at?
It would be at a it'd be auto heightened to 3rd level.
Yeah.
So the spell's range increases to 500 feet.
Yeah. You don't have to be able to see them then.
Yeah. Wait. The target can give a brief response as a reaction, or as a free action on their next turn if they wish. But they must be able to see you and be within range to do so. So she can't respond.
You can send it.
I can send it.
But
she can't respond
to it.
So I'm going to send message out going 500 feet around us. Okay. And say, Magdalene, we followed your scent through the illusion. If you are in need, signal. If not, we are going back to the house. And I'm gonna listen.
Do you hear nothing? So whether or not she didn't get it, or she doesn't need assistance.
All right. Let's go back.
Are you sure?
Farmer Magdalene is the most capable woman I know.
Well, thanks.
You have not known her. Or you would say the same.
I know, I'm kidding. All right,
Let's go back. The halflings are waiting. Tip and Bren and Steve are in far more need of our help than Farmer Magdalene.
All right. Give me one last perception check.
19.
As you turn to head back, you do see growing next to a large, what seems to be deciduous tree, like a nice big leafy tree, a single beautiful sunflower. It's the only one.
I am going to... So there's a sunflower just randomly...
There's a single sunflower next to the tree.
I'm going to recall knowledge nature.
Okay.
To see if Like, should this be growing here? Is there something interesting about the area that would...
Whoa.
20.
So you go back through your mind and the times that you've worked with Titus and the little bit of flower work that you did with him to try and concoct potions. And you know that sunflowers do not flourish where there is canopy that has no sun or very little sunlight.
I'm going to attempt to read aura on the sunflower.
Okay.
Try and see. This must be magical.
Uh-huh. Yeah, go ahead.
So I'm going to read. I don't have to roll.
Oh, you don't have to roll
it's
for
not
it.
A roll.
I keep forgetting that. There's a very slight hint of magic to it, almost residual.
Okay. Definitely confused.
I know.
I look back to Anna. Say, I do not see anything else we can do here.
No, I don't either. Back through the thing that made you throw up?
Ugh.
Sorry.
Bruce cannot seem to catch the scent again.
Oh, I don't know. I should ask him. Bruce, darling. And he does the thing again. He sniffs around and he sniffs around, and it's like the illusion washed scent away. And he comes to Anna and says, "No, she's not here. I don't know where she is, but she ain't here."
All right. Well, let's go back.
Right.
And you see him kind of prep himself, like our kids do when we're going to make them eat vegetables.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And
take out their glass of water and
and start marching through.
All right, give me a fortitude save.
All right, come on, give me better than last time. Ooh, yay. It's 11 plus 10, 21.
Okay, this time, having gone through it once, your body a little bit more acclimatized to the sludgy feel, you do push your way through into, and then very quickly you get to the other side and out with you come out the other side. And while you might still feel slightly nauseous, you're not vomiting. You don't need to vomit. You just kind of take a few deep breaths and then you're good.
I'm gonna look back. I look back at the location. I look on.
All you see, she's not out through. She's not.
Oh, she's not. Okay, I'll wait for her to come out.
All you see is okay.
I'll look back.
She's gonna come through. Bruce is gonna come through first.
Right.
And so you're gonna hear his little
derpy dog.
Yep, and he makes the little sound as he comes out as well. And then Anna comes through. And that is a 24, so she's good.
Yep.
So she comes through, same type of thing where she comes through and she's kind of like, oh yeah, it was kind of like sand and whatnot, and it's really great.
I do wonder, this strength of illusion in this place, in the middle of the woods,
is weird.
I do wonder if it is Fae.
What, like the Feywild?
The first world.
Like we were in the Feywild just now?
I wonder.
Honestly, I can't handle that right now. And she turns around and she just walks. She just starts walking that direction.
He watches and she does, confused by her reaction.
And she's like, Bruce, come on. And he goes loping after her.
And as strange woman turns around and follows.
And
he does kind of yell out, "Aren't you a little curious?"
And she once again pauses kind of in her walk for him to come back up. I'm assuming Anna has no interest in trying to be stealthy at this point. She's just like, it's dark.
Yeah, she's just barreling.
It's dark now. You need to get back to the house. Like, it's a whole thing. And so she's just walking forward and she's like, of course I'm curious. But we just discovered a bunch of planar gates in a giant cavern in the middle of a mountain. We escaped barely with our lives from the Hell Knights. I do not have the mental capacity at this time to take on the Feywild. All right, so that can stay over there. I'm totally fine with it being over there. I'm going to go back to the house. I'm going to eat something, and I'm going to go to sleep. Because who knows, maybe that's actually the protection that's around this place.
You bring up a good point. Well, I agree. We are to head back. The halflings are probably wondering where we are.
She takes a very, very deep breath. She pauses for a moment and says, the thing we need to focus on the most right now is getting out. Getting out of this forest, getting away from Cheliax. And as curious, I know you're a curious individual, which is why we now know all of the planar gates exist over there. We have to get out.
Yes. I am not... If Farmer Magdalene was worried, I would be more worried. She
would have said something.
Yes.
And obviously she knows about this place.
Now, we're continuing to walk.
Yeah, we're still walking. Like, she had just stopped to take a very deep breath, and we're going to continue walking. Yes, obviously she knew about this place. Or, I mean, her scent was here.
Yes.
And then suddenly gone, which is a little strange, but...
Very.
I trust you. And if you trust her, then...
Let us hurry. Let's get back.
All right. So, booking
Booking it. Through the woods.
All right. As you get through the woods, nothing's different. Nothing's changed. Anna sends Bruce ahead to just make sure everything's all right. And as he gets to the house, you hear very startled squeals from the halflings because they were not expecting a giant Cane Corso who's basically the size of them.
Yeah, pretty much.
To show up at the house, and Anna goes bounding after to calm everybody down. And is there anything else you would like to do before?
I imagine I'm going to search the house, see if there's any additional food.
Yes. Give me a perception check.
22.
There is food in the cupboard. It's more like jerked meats and some preserved vegetables and some fruits. And
so there
is a garden in the back, a very well kept garden.
Okay.
In the back that you can get some stuff from back there. So
he pulls out stuff. We're gonna set a table once again. Raving his hands over it. Let this nourish. And casting again my enhanced victuals over them so that this jerked meat tastes amazing. Take some, it has some, so I imagine there's some water and stuff there.
Yeah, so
turn it into wine.
Yep, there's the whole, like, everything that you had that morning, because it is now, at this point, it's probably 9 or 10 o'clock at night, because it took a hot minute for you guys to go into the forest and come back. The same thing, great food, wonderful. It's now kind of time to go back to bed. And
so yeah, I'll send the halflings back to bed.
And Anna's gonna just look at you and what are we gonna do?
Come, let's talk away from the...
I mean, you know they're gonna be curious.
Yes.
I'm shocked that they didn't ask anything about it.
They have trusted in me for a while. Farmer Magdalene is not known to them.
All right.
Come, let me. And he's gonna go out and like sit out like right outside the door, like on like the steps.
The little stoop.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And he, kind of signals to Anna to take a seat.
Mm-hmm.
Does she?
Yes, she does. She's gonna sit down next to you.
We are in this together. It is definitely important that we know and can trust one another.
Of course, I agree.
Agreed. I cast Zone of Truth.
You're vicious.
So
Are
it's
you trying to
12
do
foot.
it stealthily, or like are you like she knows? She knows what the spell is.
Yeah, so I just signal around me, and I say, only truth spoken here. And then you need to make a will save roll.
Jeez. 12, which I'm thinking doesn't match the
That
DC.
definitely
Okay.
will fail against a DC 20 that it is on that. So, because of that, because you failed,
And she knows.
yes, she
What
can
this
feel it.
is.
She can feel it settle. You can't speak any deliberate and intentional lies, and you take a -2 penalty to all deception checks, which you aren't even trained in deception. So
No,
it's like,
she's not.
so it's like negative on negatives.
Yep.
And so Az will then look to Anna. He says,
Knowing exactly what you just did,
"Yeah, she's what I did.
Anna is pissed.
I need to know, why in the hell were you with the Hell Knights? You do not fit in. It worries me. You are an irregularity."
You
What?
spend your entire life as a slave being forced to do and say what everyone around you wants, and you do this bullshit to me?
I have 3 halflings in there that owe their life.
To me!
Oh, are you planning on lying to me?
I'm not lying to you.
Then,
If it
It's
wasn't
not-
for me, you wouldn't have gotten out of those tunnels. You'd all 4 of you would be dead little pieces of meat.
and for all I know, you are a Chilaxian spy who has infiltrated now the Bellflower Network. I have too many people who rely on me to be less than cautious. It is not out of malice, but need for caution.
No, I am not a spy.
I also... I am, as you know.
Yes, that was obvious.
Why were you there?
Why do you want to know?
Because I need to know the motives.
You did the zone of truth. I am not a spy. I do not care one whit for Cheliax.
What do you want?
Right now, I would like to go back inside and be done with this.
Are you a threat to the halflings here?
The halflings know.
Are you a threat to me?
Depends on what you do.
Outside of this moment, have you been a threat to me?
No. Look, you really want to know? Or will
There-
it be enough for you just to know that I abhor slavery? I think it is evil, and anyone who is forced to do something against their will it's the worst form of torture.
I will then ask one last question. Were you a Hell Knight of your own choice?
From everything I just said, do you really think I was?
I need a yes or no. Were you there because you wanted to be a Hell Knight?
I wanted to live. I
Has-
didn't want to be a Hell Knight, no. I had a choice that I had to make.
Well, perhaps someday in the future I will find out why. You are an enigma wrapped in a question, Anduriana.
Well, so is the Asimir's slave who has magic
It's
that
not.
sits before me.
It's not actually that complicated. I was sold into slavery. I have been a slave my whole life.
But Asimirs are so rare, they're considered jewels.
Yes, and what a jewel to have at your beck and call.
But what about your parents? I mean, wouldn't they have praised that?
My parents are Chilaxian nobles who have worked very hard to endear themselves to House Thrune and have very close ties to the Church of Asmodeus.
All right, that actually does explain quite a lot.
I am not... I have no reason to hide where I come from, Anna.
True.
My parents wanted rid of me. I was a stain on their reputation.
Wait. You know who your parents are?
Why, yes.
Do they know who you are?
I imagine that they do. I have seen them at functions. When I was brought by Titus as his manservant.
So, your parents were there, and Anna just sits back, like completely, utterly in shock.
Do a sense motive for me, just for Anna.
That's an 8 plus perception, right?
Yep. Yeah.
17.
Still 17. He doesn't care a lick. He's not deceiving. He's not trying to hide anything. He doesn't care a lick.
How old were you when you were given away?
I believe they say I was weeks.
Are you serious?
Very. Anna. And he points back into the house. There is my family.
I don't... Honestly, I would give anything to have one day with my family again. And to know that yours just abandoned you like that. That's awful. I'm sorry, Az.
Oh, do not be. I would give anything to see my family, not to see my birth parents.
How... You say that so specifically. Do you have someone who raised you? I mean, I assume you had someone who raised you.
No,
I
was born fully formed from the womb.
You know what I mean. And she kind of smacks you like, shut up. No, who is your family referring to?
I was raised by the slaves in the house of Titus. When I say that the halflings, slaves, are my family, I am not being metaphorical.
So then who raised you? Who is your true mother?
You watch as suddenly the openness begins to close off. He says, "Sorry, Anna, but names that are spoken can be spoken again. And I will not open up those I care about to more." No, that is all I will say. I have not lied to you. I do not have the zone of truth, but...
No, it's fair. That's fair.
The halflings are the only life I've ever known.
Well, you care for them well. Better than, honestly, anyone's cared for me in the past 10 years.
Why did Captain Trionis and Brutus come to your defense?
My sparkling personality?
He laughs. Chuckles. A bit of a chuckle. Not loud laugh, but a chuckle. And says, I see. Well, do you think they'll come after you?
I don't know, honestly.
They let you go.
Did they? Or did they know that the larger threat in that moment was Titus?
I have watched. I am an agent. That is what I do. Trionis does not seem to have guile.
I don't think she has guile, but she does have strategy.
Fair.
And strategically, in that moment, the larger threat at that time was not us. It was Titus.
Well, the threat for Titus was to us.
Yes, but...
If in and of himself, against them, he was not a threat. Nor against the Citadel, nor against the Hell Knights. The only thing that they had a connection to that he was a threat against was you.
It's possible.
It is,
honestly,
again, strange.
I don't know what to believe anymore. I believed that Captain Trionis and Brutus were